Hey guys, it's Corey. Sorry, it's been a couple weeks since I've done a video blog, but I am back at it today and excited to come and just share a quick thought with you. Um, Many of you probably know this, but I'm a former minister, and I began thinking a lot about this over Easter. And shout out to all my pastor friends. And Easter is always a crazy time of the year. And one of the things that I got a lot of questions about when I stopped being a pastor to become a full time coach was about this idea of calling. And did I feel as if I was saying no or walking away from a calling in order to pursue something else? And the honest answer to that question is no, I never once felt like I was walking away from a calling. And the reason is because ministry is defined in a lot of different ways. And if you think back, and I know that this video is primarily for those that have church background. If you don't have church background, I think this certainly can apply to you. So just stick with me for the next 3 minutes. But when someone says, they're in college and they're like, man, I want to be a full-time ministry. I want to be in full-time ministry. I want to do full-time ministry. Essentially what that means is full-time ministry means that you are receiving compensation from a Christian organization for your work that you're doing, which is fine and great. I think being compensated for the work that you're doing should be able to happen for ministers just like it is for plumbers, right? And sometimes ministers have to deal with the same stuff as plumbers, but that's for a different time. So I honestly believe, and if for those of you that are Christians, if you look at the Bible, there wasn't anyone that was in full-time ministry. Nobody. The apostles weren't in full-time ministry by our definition of full-time ministry. Full-time ministry is someone who receives a paycheck from a Christian organization. The apostle Paul, who was probably pretty wealthy, by the way, and you got Peter and you got all these people that made their livings doing other things. They made tents, and they were lawyers, and they were not lawyers. They were doctors. They were fishermen. They were tax collectors. These people all had ways to make an income so that they could pursue their calling in other ways. And I think that's really not a lot different from what I do. I think another thing is that there's a lot of people that are really trying hard to raise money for causes they believe in. And then there's people that feel like it's their calling to give substantial income to those people that have callings that they believe in, that they're trying to raise money for. I think there's a whole lot more people that need to be on the generous giving side. Now, obviously, you don't have to have a lot of money to be a big giver, but I do know that you have to have something significant to give if you're going to be a significant giver. So I really honestly feel, we're coaches, and we've got thousands of pastors that we work with, and lots of them really love what they do, but they also need extra income to help with their kids, and their kids are getting older, and they're going to college, and they want to go on vacations, and their kids are getting married, and they love being able to do what they do, and they never got into ministry because they wanted to make a whole bunch of money. They just love helping people, but they also know that they have opportunities that they need to provide for them, and honestly, for some of their wants and desires too. So I think what I love doing what I do because it's a little bit different, but I also know that it's a very, very big need. And so if you're out there and you just need to understand that you don't always have to be paid by what you're called to do. Sometimes you're just paid by what your job is. And I'm fortunate now to be able to be compensated doing a work that's very, very rewarding. But yeah, I just wanted to just talk a little bit about that full-time ministry means you're getting paid by a Christian organization. And none of the apostles were full-time ministers by that definition. So I just wanted to clarify that, and I hope that was adding some value to those of you that felt that it would, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.